What is truth and how do we walk in it? That's the question we're going to be discussing about today. What's up, guys? My name is Vasily Bileski. Welcome back to the channel. Today we want to discuss this topic about truth, about how to walk in truth as a Christian, and hopefully I can share some examples that can help you to walk in truth in your Christian life. But you know what? Now that I think about it, let's go for a walk. It's a really nice day outside, and man, is this coffee good. Who am I kidding? I'm never going to finish this big of a cup. Yeah, guys, so I'm so excited because this weekend is my birthday. And so actually right now is my birthday, January 7th. But this weekend I'm going on a trip for my birthday to Colorado. And I haven't been to Colorado since my honeymoon. And it was just amazing. We went to Breckenridge and we had so much fun. But this weekend I'm going to get to go there all by myself to just go all out on video, photography, skiing, snowboarding, having all these sorts of fun. And I get to bring everyone along with me to just make the most epic vlog that I've ever made, because I don't make vlogs as much. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. But let's go back to talking about truth. You see, back in the Bible, I'm actually going to read it right now. Psalms 86:11. It speaks of truth by saying this: "Teach me your ways, O Lord. I will walk in your truth. Unite my heart to fear your name." And then we'll go fast forward into the New Testament. Galatians 5:16 says, "But I say this to you, walk by the Spirit, and you will not carry out the desires of the flesh." See, back in Psalms, God's already outlining a way for us to walk by the Spirit, to walk in truth. And that is technically, he's saying, to fear your name. The Holy Spirit came down to earth in order to give us back the relationship that God had intended to from the beginning. And we tend to make this so difficult. But yet, guys, for us, we need to start walking by the Spirit and walking in truth. And we have this beautiful example outlined for us in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And that beautiful example's name is Jesus. And to break down this, what I'm talking about, I think it's better if we just head out to the beach and talk about a little bit some more. So, see you in a second. You see, Jesus as a person showed us the example by walking in the Holy Spirit every moment of every single day, since the time he was baptized in the river of Jordan, since the time that God said, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am pleased." God sets up a stage for us to look at Jesus, look at him. He is the Son, he is the one that we look to. See, Jesus, as he walked, he mentions that his attention is not on things that are in front of him, the things of this world, but instead his attention are on someone else, the Father. The Father is who the Son focused onto. He says himself, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can only do what he sees the Father doing. And if Jesus, as he was walking through life, he tells us that he needed to look at the Father to see his guidance rather than just doing things by himself. It means that we, as we walk through life, we need to also start looking to the Father to see the Father's guidance rather than just doing things on our own will and our own desires and our own posture of heart. So how do we do it? You know, some people say it's impossible to get to a place where our attention is so focused on him and the guidance of the Holy Spirit rather than our own will. But to that I say it is possible, because Jesus went out and he did it, and he set us an example for us to follow. You see, when Jesus was baptized, the Spirit entered Jesus, the Holy Spirit entered Jesus, and in that moment a unity was created, a unity between Jesus and God. We're invited to have the same unity, to walk in the Spirit and rely more on his will and knowledge for the situation than our own. To start seeing his will in my situations, I had to start spending more and more time with him. The secret place is so important for us as believers, because in the secret place is where we grow. We cannot rely on growing in a congregation as if we're spending time intimately with him. We have to have a separation from the corporate setting and the secret setting. For some, the secret place is their car. For some, it is their room. Whatever that place is for you, I highly suggest that you go in there, pick up the Bible, start reading it, and say, Holy Spirit, can you come spend time with me secretly? I want to be alone with you, Holy Spirit. Then he will start to speak to you. And then over time, the relationship will start growing to a place where it's not just only in secret, but he's going to start speaking to you in the public. As you're walking through life, he's going to be able to start speaking to you because you took that time and that moment of stopping everything else that you're doing, going to a secret place, away from everybody, and saying, Holy Spirit, I want to spend time with you. Jesus gives us this example by being driven by the Spirit into a secret place. He shows us the most extreme secret place where he was taken into a prayer and fast way into the desert by the Holy Spirit. He literally decided that being in the world, being surrounded by people, being surrounded by things would be too much of a distraction for him. So he separated himself from everyone and everything just so he could not have any distractions between him and the Holy Spirit. During this time, I believe that the bond between God, the Holy Spirit, and God Jesus grew so much that there is no more trying like we sometimes think we have to do. There is no more of that trying to hear his voice. But instead, it became that when he walked, he became conscious of what the Holy Spirit is telling him. And so he started to move in a way where all of his attention was onto the Holy Spirit rather than onto what he wants to do. When we walk through life, the Holy Spirit still speaks to us with a gentle voice. It's a gentle voice because he is gentle. He is a gentleman. He will not come in unless you invite him in. So begin your time in the secret place by placing your all attention to him and saying, Holy Spirit, come and fellowship with me. Come have communion with me. I want to be able to hear your voice rather than to hear myself. He will teach you his ways. It's always personal. It's not the same way as I do it. He's going to start telling you to do it. No, it's personal. He's a God that loves you personally. He wants you. So what is it to walk in truth? Such a hard question, but it's so simple for us as Christians to understand. Truth sets you free. Truth is the ability to walk in the Holy Spirit. In my life, I have found that when I walk with the Holy Spirit, he guides me into all manners of truth. Truth allows you to understand that you are the son or daughter of the most loving God who has done so much to have a relationship with you. Some people really focus on trying to practice this, and they're trying and trying. It's so difficult for them. Sometimes we unconsciously make the mistake of making the gospel so much more difficult than it actually is. But Jesus outlines this for us by calling us to be like children. You see, children don't try to make things difficult. They run to the Father. They run to him when they need help, when they're uncertain, when they're lost, or when they're strong. They don't care if they look bad or good. They run to the Father. He has taught me that loving him is just resting with him. Sometimes driving home, as I drive in the car, I literally just turn off the radio, allow everything to be off, and just start telling him how my day has been. From the side, it might look really weird, but he calls us to be like children. Children do not hesitate. They come to their parent, as I said before. They just come to him and they say, Daddy, Dad, here I am. This is what happened. The best moment in all of those days is whenever I call unto him and he responds. If it's a good day or a bad day, the one thing I remember is that I called to him and he responded. Walking in truth is following that example that Jesus gives us. That through every season, through every moment, through times of hardship, of tribulations, we stop what we're doing, we turn our attention to him. And we say, God, I will look at you because I want to know what you're doing in this moment. Not what I need to be doing. I want to see what you're doing and I will follow that example. Because walking by my knowledge is okay, but I want to walk by your knowledge, God. Alright, let's head back in the car. In my life, as I grew in a relationship with him, I noticed something. And it was that I was making things that were supposed to be simple, I was creating them to be complicated. For instance, healing. For me, when I first started walking close to him, healing was flowing naturally. And at one point, I started to notice that it started to become complicated. Things that were once simple were not happening anymore. Instead of just going in and praying the way he told me to do it, I would go and I'd say, oh, if I could only press in this way, and if I only say these things, if I have this formula and just, I have it worked out because it worked before, it would work. But I started to notice that the more I did that, the less healing started to happen. And I was just like, God, why aren't you doing these healings? And then I realized I was making it so much more complicated. Where he just told me to go and pray, I'm saying I need to say these words and I need to say these things just so it would happen. But instead, he just called me to pray. So when you are going through this moment and you're seeing that the simple gospel that you were introduced to before is now becoming more and more and more and more and more complicated, stop and just realize, okay, let me go back and be like that child where I was when I first came to him. On that note, let's go home. Alright everybody, I hope today's video really helped break down some of the things that about walking in truth and how do we as Christians walk in it. If this video has helped you break that down, make sure you leave a like. But in all reality, guys, leave an improvement. If you guys see anything that I need to improve on, put it down in the comments. I will start to work on it and start improving it. I know the last video we got a lot of feedback, and so I tried to improve as much as possible. So if you guys have seen those improvements, tell me about it. I'd love to hear, because that encourages me so much to continue making these videos for each of you guys. And just, this has been really fun. It's been really helpful to grow. But with that being said, just leave a like, subscribe if you have to. And, just like smash that like button. On that note, peace out. Have a wonderful day. I love y'all. Be blessed.